Hello and welcome to the Frontline Professional Learning Management My Learning Plan tutorials. This video covers how to use my file library to submit substantiating documentation and how to edit previously submitted forms. So my file library is in MLP under the My Info section of the Professional Development toolbar right here. When you click on My File Library, you see the My Files section, and this is where your files are kept. So to add a file, click on the Add File button, and you can upload files that are on your computer. So for part 1, I must click the button below to select a file. I click the Choose File button, and I can select one of my files. I have my file on desktop. This is the Move Together certification for 2017, and I'm going to open that. For part 2, I enter a friendly name for this file. It's optional with a maximum of 50 characters. If I don't make a name, this name, Move Together, is submitted, and if I enter a name, that name will be submitted. So let me say that it is Proof. And part 3, I click the Upload button to upload it onto MLP. So now my file is under the files in the My Files section, and I can use it as substantiating documentation, as mentioned in a previous video. So let's return back to my homepage by clicking on the Learning Plan tab, and I wish to edit a form that I had submitted earlier on my nutrition class. In order to revise the form, I hit the Revise Resubmit Form button at the bottom of the page here. Now, if I click the Review and Resubmit form, what it does is it drops the form and creates a new request that's identical to the old request. So the prior approval will be deleted. If I'm okay with that, I click Continue, and I can now edit my form. So everything is just as I left it when I submitted it the first time, but now I want to submit substantiating documentation. So I click Yes on including substantiating documentation because I want proof for this activity that I had attended. And for files that I choose to include, I include the one file that I had submitted earlier in my file library, the Move Together certification under Proof. Clicking that will make it my substantiating documentation. I can click View to view the file, but I don't want to do that now. I already know what it is. And I can resubmit the form. Yet again, this has not been approved yet, so I don't receive credit quite yet, but it will be sent to my local final approver, Kennedy Leff, for final approval. I hit the return button and I finally go back to the page. Now, let's say I don't need that file ever again, just for documentation for that one activity. So I can go back to File Library and archive that. If I want to archive that, I simply select it by checking the checkbox next to it, and then hit the button that says Archive File. From this point forward, the file is archived and is no longer an option for substantiating documentation. If I want to view the file again, because the file has not truly disappeared forever, I can go onto the View Archive section by clicking View Archive, and it will show my archived files. I can unarchive the file to make it available again by clicking the Unarchive button, and then, yet again, the file is available to be used as substantiating documentation. This concludes the MLP tutorial on substantiating documentation submitted by my file library and resubmission of previously submitted forms. Thank you.